6 o'clock. Are we good? Looks like we're good to go. It is 6 o'clock, so we'll call our meeting to order. Do we have any additions or deletions to the agenda? If not, we're going to entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Support.
Motion support, last chance. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. We have an agenda. Roll has been taken, ma'am?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. Next up would be the Pledge of Allegiance. If everyone please rise and join us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Now, we'd entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the January 23rd, 2024 regular meeting and the January 30, 2024 goal-setting session.
Move approval for both.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the minutes. Are there any additions or corrections or comments? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried and you've approved the minutes. Thank you. Down to hearings. We were supposed to set a public hearing for Wednesday, February 28, 2024 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows, which is to consider the establishment and declaration of an industrial development district for Bob Bissell's Trucking. Your pleasure.
Move to set the hearing.
Support.
Okay, we motion support. Any comments or questions?
Just that, it's good news. Building a new facility to build some truck trailers and to help out with the taxes on that. They need to create this district and then they'll be coming in with an application. This is the facility at 2000 East Superior Street, right there on the corner of Jerome in East Superior. So
Used to be Liquid Transport.
yeah, Liquid Transport, correct.
Are they just adding on to it?
I haven't seen the drawings yet. I don't know if it's an extension of what's currently there or just a separate building itself. I don't know.
Well, that's good. It's a lean-to, but maybe that's...
That's the next one.
That's the next one.
That's the next one, yep.
What they've done so far is really nice. If you've been in that building,
I have not been.
the offices are really nice.
Good. Okay, with that, all those in favor, please say yes. Any opposed, no. The motion is carried and we've set the hearing. Next is to set a public hearing for Wednesday, February 28, 2023 at 6 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the agenda allows to consider two requests for PA 198 industrial facilities tax exemption certificates for Avalon and Tahoe Manufacturing. Your pleasure.
Move to set the hearing.
Support.
A motion support.
This is our lean-to. It's
Okay.
10,000
I
square
read
foot
one there
lean-to.
someplace.
Yep. And the new facility at 725 East Superior Street, where they demoed the former Alma Product Building, and they're putting the new structure up right now. That also includes the 8,000 square foot existing office building as part of that exemption. So they're going to redo the inside, new roof, that sort of thing on that building. So another good project.
Yes, absolutely. Any comments or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried and we've set another hearing. Thank you. Moving down to request for purchases. First, we have to consider a resolution to approve a request for purchase to Gratiot Outdoor Equipment in the amount of $16,499, which will be for the purchase of a Ferris zero-turn mower to replace the Public Works Unit number 635, which I presume is also a mower.
Yes, it's a very awesome, yes.
Your pleasure.
Move approval.
Support.
A motion support. Any more?
It's replacing a Ferris we have now. The reason we're replacing that one, the diesel engine, that's a diesel, this is a gas, went bad. The new replacement engine for this is $14,000. So we decided to look at the gasoline for $16,000 for a brand new unit, so.
How old is that diesel, do you know?
It's about 5 years old.
Really?
It's
About 5 years?
It's obsolete.
And we run them, those Ferris, we run those things 5 days a week.
Yeah, but for a diesel motor, 5 years isn't...
Correct. As I said, we tried to get parts for it, you cannot get parts, so the new model for it to replace the engine because they don't have parts, It's very expensive, so just get a new lawnmower.
It's unfortunate. Okay. Anybody else have comments or questions? I'm sorry.
I just said that's kind of how electronics are. They don't make them to be repaired anymore.
Yeah, I expected an iPad, but a diesel engine. You
Yeah,
think
but
they're gonna-
I'm just saying lots of
You know, if you
things.
know any truck drivers, they drive those things for a million miles. So.
Just about.
Any more questions? Sorry. Hearing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. The motion is carried and looks like we're getting a new mower. Next up is to consider a resolution for purchase to CNR Electric in the amount of $16,600 for the purchase and installation of poles and fixtures to replace lights at the corner of Wright Avenue and Heather Lane. Your pleasure.
Move to approve.
Support.
The motion support.
These are the more, I guess not necessarily decorative, but they're not the typical street light that you see in most locations. These are owned by us. These light fixtures were put in when we did Heather Lane Extended. So they're just on the other side of the intersection of the light. There's 4 of them. Their bases have rusted out. So they're in, they could fall. I mean, we get a windy enough day, they could tip over. So we're looking to replace those 4. The poles going in will be aluminum and of course an LED light fixture, so.
Okay.
Questions or comments? And I guess my only
These are
question-
not traffic lights.
These are street lights.
Street lights,
Yeah.
lamp poles.
Lamp poles, yeah.
Lamp poles.
I guess when I was out there, I just kind of drove around a little bit and I just kind of questioned the need for the lighting there with the parking lots. I mean, it's surrounded by parking lots in the commercial district. Anybody else take a look at it or?
No, I didn't look at it from that point. Drove through it, but.
Nobody's had them in here because they are, we don't know when they might fail.
Yeah.
All over. So that's why we're putting that before you.
Looks like Dave might have a
Dave's
comment.
coming.
Comes the boss.
Public Services Director. There are backwoodded Heather Lane Extended and then Warwick Drive Extended. Those were put in originally to that. If anyone notices on Warwick Drive Extended and Heather Lane, there are 3 poles that no longer exist. They fell over because the bases have rotted. These ones are very close to that. So instead of replacing the 3 that have already fallen over, we're looking at the very worst ones, and these are the worst ones. There's one there in the corner of Warwick and Heather Lane and Wright Avenue. So it's right there at the intersection. These are the lights that light up the intersection. And the other ones are along that portion of Heather Lane that has a little chicane in it there that goes back. So that's the idea. And yes, they're marking the intersection is what they're there for. So I just want to make sure that that's under consideration. And what we've observed is it looks like it's the salt spray from plowing. That windrow goes up there and it's rotted about. So these are a little different pole design and base mounting that we have up there.
But your suggestion, if I'm hearing you correctly, is that you don't think we need lights there at all?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I question the need for the light in the first place, yeah.
Is it going east or west on Heather Lane?
To the, one is right there at the intersection.
Intersection, right, but
proper.
then towards the
And then
townhouses.
the other 2, or I believe there's 2 that are going to the east along Warwick, or Heather Lane, going towards the strip mall there.
So it's like back to the homes. So it's like a lighted street, like through the city limits that we have.
But it's there,
In there.
before you get to the commercial buildings, it's out in the commercial area, right?
Yes.
It's
there's
not
some
back
along-
behind.
There are some along through there between the buildings and,
Mary Court.
yes, I'm just getting my bearings, Wright Avenue to Mary Court. It's the worst ones that are along there. It's not all of them, it's the worst ones that we found. Because we budgeted for 3 replacements and for initially last year, the ones that were down, I thought before we replace the ones that are already down, let's look at the ones that are in the worst shape so they don't fall over onto something, so we'll replace them before they fall over. Idea being next year, then replace the 3 that have fallen on Warwick Drive and Heather on the west section.
So your decision-making in replacing them was that 3 are already down? Replace the 4 that are not good shape?
Yes.
You don't have an opinion of whether they're necessary or not? You just went by, there's 3 that are already collapsed or fallen? Okay, and with the idea of replacing all of them eventually?
Correct. Yeah, not necessarily all of them, but the worst ones. These worst bad ones that are rotten that we've exposed,
Right.
that are likely going to fall down the next year.
But next year, you said you would do the 3 that
That
have.
have already fallen, correct, with that idea. Historically, we've looked at removing lights. The commission hasn't been in favor of that, but if this is somewhere, that's why we're looking to replace.
Yeah, my initial instinct is to keep lights, but I can't say that I looked at it with the eye of
Well,
not
if
having.
there's any interest, we could table it and give everybody a chance to go out there and look at it and see what your opinions are. I mean,
Yeah, I think we should do that.
yeah, I think that's a good idea. I mean, I can't argue that, my opinion, I don't know.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, my initial instinct is we went through did that walk in the dark through town, and I appreciate having the lights. I mean, even if if it's, like you're saying, marking the intersection, I think that's important, especially by apartments or whatever they are called. But if the majority wants to table it and think about it more, that's fine.
Well, who had the motion, I guess?
There's not been a motion.
Do we have any motion yet?
I can make a motion to table. It's not a bad idea.
It was Roxanne's motion.
Okay, Roxanne's motion, so it'd be up to you to withdraw your motion or do whatever you choose at this point then.
Is everybody wanting to table it?
I don't need to drive out there. I mean, it's a street it's a city street that is going back to homes back there. We can't always count on parking lots to have their lights on at all times, so I'm in favor of keeping lights on streets. I'm a walker at night and I like, so that's my personal opinion.
Truthfully, I'm gonna look at this situation, but if we don't do it, let's play the devil's advocate, and somebody walking and wearing all black walks out in front of a car and gets hit by a car, somebody's gonna be asking, is that street lit? And the answer is gonna be no, and everybody coming after the city of Alma for...
Because there's not a sidewalk back there towards the
There
apartments.
is not. There is not.
No, it's very similar to what I brought up every year for 13 or 14 years, is that Panther Parkway from apartments over on the other side with
Yeah.
Yeah.
no lights and no sidewalk, and that will be an issue at some point.
It will.
And I don't just say it here, I say it at school as well. So it's, I'm an equal opportunity nagger about Panther Parkway. So I either withdraw it or we do it and people say no if they want to take, I mean, I'm okay.
If you want to let your motion
Is there,
stand, it's
is
a
there,
motion, so.
is time, I mean, other than that they could fall over and kill someone, other than that, is time
It's
of the
It's a
essence?
30-day quote, so I
Okay.
assume we have till the next meeting, but my other question to that be, do you want us to pull some bulbs to give an idea of what it would look like? I'm open to suggestions, 'cause
No,
right now they are.
I don't want to
so-
pay people to go up there and take
Same
them.
All right, I
Thank you
didn't
for
know if
that
you
offer, but
wanted
no.
to take a
Oh,
look
so we
at
could
it.
see what it looked like without lights?
Yeah, because right now it will be lit, so.
Okay, I will withdraw my motion.
Remove my second. Withdraw my second.
Could we just, maybe flags or a cone, the 3 that have fallen already, kind of mark those so they can kind of drive by there too and see what it looks like without a light being there? Like on Warwick Drive, you said those 3 are,
They're already down.
yeah, so say, put something there so they
The
can
three that are
see.
down, are they on the east side of Wright Avenue or the
They're
west
on the
side?
west side of Wright Avenue.
So those go back farther into away from the more commercial district that's well lit along Wright Avenue.
Is
They-
the
yeah, they're
hospital on
not
the
so
east or the
developed
west side? 'Cause I don't know.
The hospital's on
Hospital's
the
in the
east side,
east.
but it's also half a mile
It's
north.
back by Ace Hardware. It's in that part, that strip between Commercial Bank and Community Church now and Ace Hardware. That's where they are.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying the ones that are down, they can get a feel for how that would look if,
Yeah.
Down or on the other side of Burger
Marking the
King going the
bases,
other
I'm
way.
sure they've been stolen, we can do that, and the other ones, like, we can mark the poles that we're looking to replace the rotten bases, we can they have those designated as well, so.
just make it easier to see if that's what you
Right.
would like to do.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, because if that's the case, we will have to pull them, because I said, I'm just concerned, I do not want them to fall in a car or fall in the street. The worst time, we've had 2 that have fallen down, luckily enough, they've fallen down during the weekday, and they fell opposite side of the street in sidewalks, so we had luck on our side of those.
Would we pull them or would the would CNR pull them?
Depending on the height on some of these, we could, but if they're high enough, we would have CNR pull them just because.
Well, either way, we need to
equipment.
put new ones in or pull them, so why wouldn't we just go ahead with pulling them and then we can make a decision on?
I don't have a quote for just straight removing. These are for replacements.
You said we could do the ones we, of the
Yeah,
ones we
if they're
could do.
small enough, but if they're taller ones, because they're not all the same ones. You've got the one there at Wright and Warwick, then you've got the ones that go into Heather Lane. They're different poles. Existing right now. They won't be when we're done, but they'll if this were to be approved. The ones that we quoted, if anybody's familiar, they would look exactly like the one at Pine and Cheeseman up there. The LED head, and it's the same type of light and pole there. Closest we could get to match the existings.
But I think we'll mark those for you so you can know exactly what we're talking about, so.
Okay. Thank you, David. Thanks, Dave.
A certain day that those will be marked, that we can go out? Is there a timeline?
We'll talk with Jim in the morning and see what we could send over there.
Can you shoot us an email when it's done?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
day or
we can
two
do that, yes.
hours.
Yep, we'll shoot you an email. That sounds good, yep.
So we have to table that, is what we have to have a motion
That
for,
would
correct?
be what we'd look for a motion for next, yes. Anybody interested in tabling it? Or just, I guess it just dies for lack of a motion if nobody makes any motions.
I move we table the consideration of the approval for the new lights.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion to support to table that item. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no?
No.
Motion is carried. We'll be back on that issue again later. Next up is recommendation of bids. Consideration of a resolution to receive and award bids for the annual chemical procurement for the wastewater treatment plant, and also to approve the related requests for purchase. The following bids were received, and it looks like we got 6 different bids. For chlorine, we've got the recommended bid at $1,950 a ton for a total of $31,200. The recommended bidder is JCI Jones Chemical from Riverview. For ferric chloride, the recommended bid is $1,145 a dry ton for a total of $29,770 from PVS Technologies Incorporated out of Detroit. And for the sodium hypochlorite, $1.93 a gallon for $61,760 total. And again, from JCI Jones Chemicals from Riverview. And those are all, I believe, the lowest bids that we received. So your pleasure thereof.
Move to approve the recommended bidders for those chemicals.
Support. Okay, we have more support. Any comments or questions? Anything to add?
It's, we approved our chemicals for Gallup last week. So the sodium hypochlorite, we piggyback on that one. But as you can see, those costs are going up for that because, and we will be using that more and more at the wastewater treatment plant. Too, so.
Okay, any more questions, comments? All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Next, we are to consider a resolution approving the receipt and award of bids for sludge removal and disposal for the wastewater treatment plant to the recommended bidder. And it looks like we had 2 bids received on January 25th, 2024. The low bid is from Michigan Agribusiness Solutions out of Saginaw. Sludge at 4.75 cents a gallon. And I guess pound is 4.75 cents a gallon. Is that, are those different somehow? Between sludge and pound, I guess?
It's the pond material, correct? That's in the polishing ponds?
Okay.
The sediment, there we go, I'm sorry.
In any event, the bid is $171,000, and the other bid that we had it was from Biotechnology Agronomics from Beulah is $228,000, so quite a substantial difference in bids. Wow. Your pleasure thereof.
Move approval of Michigan Agribusiness Solutions.
Okay, motion support. Any more comments or questions?
No, we've used this company before, so, and we do need to move it out.
Yeah. And this is going to be ground applied still?
Yes.
Is that, okay.
Yep.
All right, anything else? All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you. Next up, we are to consider a resolution ratifying the investment of the following city funds. It was $260,266 for 9 months at 4.5% at Commercial Bank. Your pleasure.
Move approval.
Support?
A motion support. Any comments or questions?
Pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, pretty straightforward.
Yep.
All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Thank you. Now, resolution to consider of a performance resolution which is required by the Michigan Department of Transportation authorizing the annual application and permit for miscellaneous operations within the state highway right-of-way, which will include street closures and banner placements. This is in conjunction with the 2024 Special Community Events Use State Highway Right-of-Way Act, or Right-of-Way Program, I guess, whatever they call it, so. Your pleasure.
Move to adopt.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion to adopt, and Eric, you said there was one
Yes,
correction.
I do have one correction that I need to make for the Alma College Homecoming Parade, where we have State Street, that would be Woodworth Avenue. We're going to move them back one block. One, we have the farmer's market there, and two, we're trying to make some more room for some better access for the parking lots during the homecoming parade time period, so.
Okay, thank you. I guess it's my fault, I got the motion and support before we had the agenda, the correction, so those that made the
Move to
motion and
adopt
support.
with the correction.
As corrected?
As corrected.
Okay, everybody's good? Anybody else have questions or comments? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried, thank you. Next, we are to consider a resolution proclaiming the month of March 2024 as Women's History Month.
Move to adopt.
Support.
A motion support. Background?
This is something we've done every year for, gosh, almost since I've been here, so that's 25 years at least they've been doing it, so. It's submitted each year, the individual usually submits this, and
Nancy Michael,
Yeah.
on behalf of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Okay.
so, something that we adopt every year.
Okay. Very good. Anybody else have comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. We have Women's History Month. Moving to ordinances, we will consider a resolution to adopt ordinance number 842, which is an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances and add sections to allow and regulate the placement, construction, maintenance, and removal of public art on property within the city of Alma.
Move to adopt.
Support.
Okay, we have motion support. We talked a little bit about this. You have more for us? or-
Yes, this is our final step for creating the public art ordinance. The group, the board that has been assembled and approved to be an advisory committee to this board has met 3 times now. This ordinance doesn't just look at murals right now. We've really kind of focused on that. This will include all types of sculptures, murals, sculptures, any other types of art type, public art type items that aren't considered signage. So,
And we don't want to go there.
we don't want to go there.
Wow.
Yep. But the extended goal is then the group will come up with an application as people come in with their ideas for different art pieces. As long as it meets those criteria for a mural as opposed to a sign. If they're a sign, then we'll put them on the sign ordinance side of things. But proper placement so that they have enough room, if they're sculptures, enough room for people to get around, that they're not filled with barbs or sharp objects for the public safety, those sorts of things. And then they would make determinations and send those up to the commission to take a look at and officially adopt. But and then from there, we hope to have a more, lack of a better word, strategic plan for art in public spaces throughout the community.
And ultimately see more art
And see
in
more
our
art.
community, yes, exactly. Very good. Comments or questions?
In that, was there a portion that took maybe neighboring businesses into account or adjoining businesses into account? Especially when you come to like the murals. Obviously, if you have a facility that's maybe a mental health facility, maybe the mural that's right next to it could be subject to certain criteria. Obviously, you don't want to infringe on any free speech or anything like that, but is there any type of language like that in there that...
We can make that part of the application process to look through of, because we're not done with that yet. We went through a couple incarnations. Maybe that's part of working with neighbors of, have you discussed your project with other individuals that are, next door or across the street, whatever that may be, and because we got to be very careful, like Greg's saying.
I think those things are going to be
Yeah.
very, very tricky.
Yeah.
And the hope is that people are reasonable and want to be good neighbors, and quite honestly, I think it's going to be impossible to legislate being a good neighbor.
Yeah.
It's been very difficult in the past to try and do that. You just have to hope for the best, and, knock on wood, we've had pretty good luck with people being good to one another in communities, so we'll cross our fingers and hope it continues.
Is there anything we haven't had much of it here, but is there anything in the ordinance that addresses graffiti? Because that is sometimes considered art. If I want to go on the side of a building and do bubble writing like, they
Well,
do.
if
how am I
you own the
gonna-
building, or if you have landlord's permission, it could then be a piece of art. I mean, it very well could be a mural or a piece
The
of
idea is to give them enough incentive, to kind of work with the community to find things that, that are appealing as best we can. If it's, a property owner is set on doing something, there's not,
Yeah.
if you open it up, you kind of.
I was thinking more of vandalous
Right, if
graffiti.
you're out there at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Roger,
doing stuff.
That's illegal. Yeah, that's illegal, yeah.
But is there any kind of anything in this that we can use to enforce it? Is there an
Well,
enforcement?
we can enforce that right now.
We can,
If someone
okay.
is, that's basically defacing public, public or private property.
Okay.
Without permission, yeah, without.
Darn,
So,
I
yeah.
just bought all that new spray
I
paint.
know.
No, I wanted to make sure it
If
was
somebody
enforced.
tags a building, if you own a building and somebody
Say it's called-
spray paints it or does anything on it,
That's again graffiti.
it's nice if you fix it, but it's hard for the city to enforce it. You have to paint it,
Yeah.
immediately or whatever.
If you get caught, I mean,
It is enforceable.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
okay.
we have done that we've caught some individuals in the parks doing that, and they been sent to the prosecution, and then had to pay restitution and such things.
That's good. They should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Comments or questions? Good conversation. Thank you. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Moving forward with art. Moving to agreements, to consider a resolution approving project authorization 2022-0005/P6 fiscal year 2024, section 5311, operating formula grants for rural area programs to provide federal operating funds to Alma Transit, and also to authorize the mayor and clerk to execute the agreement on behalf of the city of Alma.
Move approval.
Motion support. Any more comments or questions? You got any background?
Annually,
Yeah.
yep, we want it because it's operational funds coming in, so.
If you want the buses to run,
If you want
say
buses, yes.
That's okay.
We want to be able to pay employees, all that sort of thing.
All right, anybody, all those in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Looks like that ought to run for another year. Reports of officers, boards, and committees. Commissioners may receive the following reports by one resolution, or any commissioner may remove any of the items within this section for individual discussion and vote. Before us tonight, we have a Parks Committee January 22, 2024 draft meetings. The Alma District Fire Board January 2024 draft meeting minutes. The Downtown Development Authority January 2024 draft meeting minutes. Alma Police Department 2023 annual report. Thank you for that. And the Alma Police Department January 2024 report. Oh, whoops. Keep going, huh? Okay. The Alma Transit January 2024 report, the January 2024 building permits report, the Finance January 2024 report, and the City Manager's report, presumably for February 13th, 2024. Your pleasure.
Pull the city manager's report. We got anything for finance that we need to, okay. Except 1 through 8.
Seems like we have a motion to accept 1 through 8. I'm going to support. Last chance for comments or questions. Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion is carried. Interested in the city manager's report?
Move to receive number 9.
Support. Okay, we have motion support, and presumably Eric's gonna enlighten us.
Real small one today, but thought it would be important to talk about a couple of these things in front of the camera. In the newsletter, we did put in a draft copy of the past due debt allocation ordinance. What this will provide us for is currently if you don't mow your lawn or you have a special assessment they haven't paid, those items will go on to taxes to be recouped. Pretty much anything else that we have a civil infraction for, we just have to hope that they pay it, or we have to take them to court and enforce them through that way, which can be very, very expensive. So underneath this ordinance, we've drafted it broad enough that it could be used by any departments as long as they create and develop their own policies on how that would take place. Really, it's been driven by code enforcement. So when we write citations for code enforcement, those are civil infractions. And it's, like I said, it is quite costly to go to court to try to recoup those costs. So instead of fighting with folks about will they pay it, not pay it, say, well, if you don't pay it, we'd hope you comply. That's the first thing we want is compliance. But if we write you a citation that, if you don't pay for it, then it will be rolling your taxes, so it will be recouped at some point. So we're hoping that would help with some compliance, as opposed to, we don't want to write the ticket, but if we do write the ticket, we'd like to get the funds. But hopefully if they know that there is a backstop that says, no, you will be paying the money. So please comply with what we're asking you to do, from, clean up the yard or put an air in your tire with your vehicle, or parking on your parking pad, those sorts of things. So, we just wanted to get that in front of you before we actually put an introduction on the on the agenda, and just wanted to get your thoughts. Does that seem reasonable, or did you have some apprehension of going down this road?
No, that sounds good.
As long as you can directly tie it back to the property, it seems like it's a reasonable method. Like, as you said, the goal of enforcement, code enforcement, is to get people to comply and be good neighbors. Like we talked about earlier, it's hard to legislate that, but
we're hoping that as we send things out, it's like, hey, we don't want to, fine, but if we have this to put in the letter saying that if you don't pay your fines,
Puts a little more meat behind
yes, that I'll just ignore it, and what are you going to do? You really going to take me to court, spend $1,700 to recoup $500, and that sort of thing. So,
could there be an option there to make that, like, I don't have the money right now to pay this fine, I will pay it in taxes, can you just jump to that step right now to maybe stop the correspondence? And at the end of the day, in some certain instances, people just will ignore it and not pay it, but they're just saying, hey, I want to pay this, I want to comply, I just can't. Can you just put it there? Instead of wasting 3 months of trying to chase down a payment.
That's what would be in the policy that each department would have. It would give you a time period. We'll notice you with a letter saying this is the violation. Give them X amount of time to contact you. Then once they contact you, give them some days or whatever it is to comply with whatever's been asked. If not, then you go into the civil infraction portion of it. And
so hopefully they come to an agreement before the fine is ever levied. If you say, hey, I want to fix this, but I need time to do it, I think the city, my experience is they've been very good about working out a plan and giving people time to actually make the changes needed rather than go to the fine level. So,
but this will make it so they just I'll just ignore it. I'll get to it when
I'm not going to fix it. I'm not going to do it. You just go ahead and find me and
I'll just ignore the fine. So, but this will only apply to those folks who have real property. So if but that's who we're really dealing with code enforcement. So, but anyway, thank you. We'll get that ready for introduction.
Can I ask a question before, only slightly related to that? What do we do about parking tickets that are just thrown on the ground?
Those, don't quote me. Let me check into that and see how that goes, because some of those are civil infractions as well, and maybe we'll be able to, because this is written broad enough, maybe we can do it underneath this. Well, no,
you can't, because they have no property.
Real property.
They have no property.
But anyway, let me check on that.
Okay, because I continue to see a lot of those.
You have a bunch, do you, Roger? You have a stack of
He's out
I
scraping
got a whole bunch of them,
parking
yeah.
tickets.
Well, you're near the college. So.
Yeah. No, I see them thrown on the ground.
Ultimately, if there's, and I don't know how they track them or anything, but ultimately your car could be impounded.
Yeah.
And if you face that possibility, I think it's probably ultimately in our procedures and policies somewhere. that-
The college can hold it over their heads because they won't release grades or something if they have college parking tickets
In
outstanding, but.
Virginia, by the naval base, that seems to be.
I'll have to check.
Okay, sorry, thank you.
Just to be sure.
Thank you.
Yep. We talked about the last meeting, this coming, Thursday, the Put Your City on the Map application or notice of intent. This is our project we'd like to present to Consumers Energy. We talked about what we called in 2018 the East Gate Entrance Beautification Project. I did put in the PowerPoint and information that we went and presented it to the Community Foundation. If everyone's good here, we'll submit the phase 1 of that.
As long as you can update the committee,
Yeah.
because like your name should be on there.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to, it was just easier to put that to you so you knew exactly what it was and where it came from.
That'd be
and
perfect.
thoughts and stuff, so. But we'll have to do something kind of what the estimated cost for phase 1 was $55,000 back then, so I'm assuming we'll need to adjust that a little bit, but that's not too bad to deal with. So if everyone's good with that, we'll submit that on Thursday.
Wasn't there, it seems like there was some talk of a different group that maybe had a different idea. Did that go anywhere? Or could we submit more than one or?
Yes, I did
So
talk.
they can submit their own
Yes.
as well?
Yes,
Okay.
yep. I did speak with that individual and told them, yeah, go ahead and submit yours. And because right now they're just going to look through all of them and then choose a handful to
To actually go into the
Yep,
competition?
go in the competition. Told them if you get chosen, the city will be there to
We'll support
support you, so.
Okay.
Yep.
I just want to make sure we're not blocking out a citizen group that wanted to do something.
Nope, it's completely up to the review group there with Consumers Energy to pull those projects, so.
Okay.
So if they get it,
Is there
we'll be there supporting.
a reason they didn't come to us? I'm asking you, Greg. You must know the person that did that. Did they not come to
They were
us?
at our.
I think they did come to our,
They were at our DDA meeting.
was it DDA? Okay, I forget which meeting it was, but and it was just kind of mentioned in passing that,
Yeah.
and I didn't know how serious it was or.
Yeah. And we discussed it the next day. We had a discussion on the phone,
Oh,
so,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yep.
But if there was a big movement and we could only submit one, I didn't want us to be in competition with some group that's trying to do something else too, so, okay, thank you.
And at the last DDA meeting, we also went over the second draft of the downtown social district, and there was some additional locations added. So what I've termed here the final draft of the social district. What we did include was just in case in the future if we wanted to, as a city commission for special events, to use any of the parking lots for an event. We did include that. That's the red line that you'll see on your map for special events that are only good, or common areas that are only good during approvals from the city commission. The other red lines you see down Superior Street and then on the major cross streets. Those again, like say Alamo Alive, that is on street. The way the law works, you have your common areas that you have the rest of the time period, which is the sidewalks and the other blue areas that are public spaces that we deem appropriate for that, that you can partake in your beverage at those times. During the, like say Alamo Alive, commission would approve the area that Alamo Alive would happen on, and then those folks would be able to take that cut not only to the normal common areas, the sidewalks, those public spaces, but also into the street during those time periods. So if you had any other suggestions or thoughts on
Maybe that lot behind that buddies up to the, it's kind of the alley they redid with the mural and that space
The
there,
theater.
the end of that lot behind it.
Oh, lot two?
Theater, yeah.
Okay, I didn't include that, but I can.
Yeah, I think,
Just because of that
yeah,
space
that,
that's right here.
yeah,
Yeah.
that would be a nice place with there's benches and stuff in there.
And
And
it's
since it's
adjacent to
across
the
the
other
street
lot,
from
yeah.
2 bars, it's,
Because I did include the whole Pocket Park area as one of the public spaces. Scotland Yard Park, which was, where the farmer's market was located, we'd included that.
Yeah,
We
I would
included-
say all the parking lots should be down there with no
Okay.
problem.
Okay.
You may never use them, but
Yeah.
you can get the option today pretty easily.
Yeah. Well, I will include that then. And then that lot back there.
And then
Okay. All right, well, I'll move forward with that then, and with a final review. And then just MSU Extension is providing some very low-cost, convenient training via Zoom, and 3 different calendar months for some open meetings. Oh gosh, what was the other 2? Open meetings is
Governing essentials, parliamentary procedures, and open meeting.
And parliamentary procedure is always a good one to have. Open meetings is always a good reminder. And it's very low cost. If you want to, per meeting, it's $20. But if you want to do all 3, it's $50. So if you're interested in doing that, let me know. And like I said, there's they gave 3 different time periods throughout the coming months here to take part in those trainings. So, and just a reminder, next Tuesday, our next meeting would have been the 27th, but that is election day. So we did move our next city commission meeting to the 28th, Wednesday the 28th. So just want to make everyone, remind everyone of that. So if you haven't voted already,
Please do.
please do. Plenty of opportunities to vote.
Yes. Okay, any comments or questions else to follow up? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is passed, and we've received the city manager's report. Excuse me, moving on to appointments, we are to consider a resolution to appoint Aaron Branish, is that? Branish, okay, to the Planning Commission for the balance of term ending June 30, 2026.
Move approval.
Support. Okay.
This gets us all back up to full speed with the Planning Commission. We're glad to have them on board.
Okay. Any more comments or questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. We are also to consider a resolution to make the following appointments to the Board of Review for 1-year terms beginning January 1st, 2024. And the recommendation is to appoint Tad Godfrey, David Justin, and Heather Theron.
Move to adopt.
Support.
Provided they all agree.
I believe they have, so we should be good there. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried, and we thank everyone for volunteering to serve on those boards. New business. We're looking to conduct a periodic evaluation of employee in closed session at the employee's request for the purpose of evaluation, which is permitted under Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act, MCL 15.268. Prior to that, I think, Michelle, you were interested in moving the public comments up.
Yes.
And just for everyone's benefit, I don't believe we're planning on taking any action after we come out of closed session, so just, we won't make any moves that anybody has to stick around to listen to, so. Do you want to make a motion to move that up?
I make a move to move the invitation to the public before the new business.
Okay. Support. A motion support. Last chance for comments. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. The motion is carried. Thank you. So we'll move and we'll open the board up. I guess, I assume commissioner comments as well first?
Sure.
Can I do that? Lori, you want to lead us off?
Got nothing.
That was quick. Michelle.
I just wanted to ask for an excused absence. I will be out of state on the meeting for February 28th.
Are you doing something fun?
Yes, I'm leaving to go
Guess we'll
south.
excuse that then.
Yes. I'll be down south for 10 days. So
Good for
we're
you.
gonna be here.
Drew, are you going to be here?
I'll be here.
You have anything to add?
Yeah. No, I'm except for that I'm excited about seeing what happens with the Am I Right House. I know that group is meeting
Going on now.
tonight. So curious to see how that goes, but it sounds like good news so far. So.
Yeah, very early success.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope
Great
so.
news. Yes.
I hope so.
Roxanne.
Loose Road Childcare is taking any applicants now. 30 months is the youngest we can take. And then kindergarten roundup is Thursday, April 4th. So if you have any 5-year-olds by September 1st, plan on coming.
Fortunately, I don't. Danny, you're more likely to be in that category.
Nothing this evening, thank you.
All right. Roger.
I just had a question as to when a decision or if it has been made already, will be announced about the location of the farmer's market. I get more just regular comments about where is that going to be?
State Street, back where it was last year.
It's going to be back where it was last year. Okay.
Yep. And we're working on a new sign for it and all kinds of things. So, yes. I'll have her, as soon as some of those things are more concrete, we'll be sharing those in the newsletter and online. So,
That is officially a group or a function of the Chamber of Commerce, the only action
Right.
division of the Chamber of Commerce, right? It's not a city function, per se,
Right.
or an EDA function.
That's right. Yep, we're helping them out to
Yeah.
get it to
It's
its next
coordinated
step.
and it's all
Yeah.
played nice together, but
Yep.
it is technically a chamber function. So.
Okay.
Anything else, Rob?
That's it.
Sarah?
Appropriations also before we go into closed session.
We can certainly do that, yes.
That's not even on the agenda, is it?
Right now, we're in comments. It's down there, yeah.
Oh, yeah, there it is. It's in
Well, I think
okay.
all the motion did was move the one up, so.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you have any comments?
I don't.
Okay. Eric, did you have anything else?
Just the East Superior Street, the block between Gratiot and Woodworth, where we dug up the street. We did find, we were just hoping it was maybe a storm sewer collapse, but no, as we dug a little deeper, we did find that the sanitary was leaking also. So it was good that we found it, because obviously it will undermine the road. So the crew looks to have that, knock on wood, looks to have that done here by Thursday, so we'll have that reopened. But there's plenty of ways to get around that one block. All the parking lots are open. So please go to the businesses, restaurants, all that. Nothing's blocked off on the sidewalks to get you all about. So that's it.
Okay. I'd just like to, again, encourage the group that's forming the Historical Society and doing the Right House. It's a great project. Thank everybody that's volunteering for the committees. And with that, we can open it up to public comment. If anybody would like to, members of the public like to address the commission, please go to the podium, state your name and address, and share your thoughts. Anyone interested in sharing? Not seeing anyone.
It's not.
Just glad to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you as well. Thank you for coming.
I said I'd never met you. I used to be the Salvation Army officer here for 3 years.
Okay.
So it's nice to meet everybody.
Thank you for coming.
Yes. Okay, so we should probably do appropriations as well. Can we get another motion to change the agenda and move that up?
To
And
change the agenda and move up the appropriations.
support. Any motion of support? Any comments, questions? All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. We moved it up. Now, anybody care to pay the appropriations?
I move we pay the bills.
Support.
All right, any motion of support? Anybody have any questions about the bills? Hearing none. All those in favor of paying the bills, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, no. Motion's carried. Thank you. Now, we'll consider a resolution to go into a closed session to conduct a periodic evaluation of an employee at their request, which is permitted under Section 8A of the Open Meetings Act of MCL 15.268. Your pleasure.
Move approval.
Support.
Got a motion to support. We need roll call vote. Go ahead, don't we?
Yes. Thank you.
Commissioner Allman?
Yes.
Commissioner Bear?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harrington?
Yes.
Commissioner Harrison?
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts?
Yes.
Commissioner Warnick?
Yes.
Mayor Mapes?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll move into closed session. Thank you, everybody, for coming, and once again, just to assure you, we're not going to take any action when we come out of session, so thank you very much.